So, how's it going, Spizzo?
It's going great, man. How you been?
Yeah, good man. It's been a while.
It has actually. I feel like it's been, God, what? At least 6, 7 months.
I think it's actually more than that, man,
I
because what was the place called that you used to work with again? Market Square, wasn't it?
Market Square, yeah, Market Square, and we met through Spider Tanks,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah,
That was funny, man, because I remember playing Spider Tanks and you were streaming and you were putting it up on the Spider Tanks channel.
yep.
And I was sort of like trolling you a little bit. I'm like,
Oh, you
I
were
can't
kicking
remember
the
exactly
crap
what I
out
was
of me,
saying.
but I was having a
Yeah,
good time. It was like you were, even though you were putting a beating on me. I mean, you weren't toxic about it. We were having fun. I
yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I was beating you and I was listening to your stream at the same time, and you're like,
You're
"This is
sniping.
bullshit." That was a good time, man.
Oh hell yeah, man! Hell yeah! But yeah, man. So what have you been still playing Spider Tanks? What's going on?
Yeah, so with Spider Tanks, man, they sort of I don't want to say they shit the bed, but they sort of did in regards to the economy on Spider Tanks.
Ah.
So I think at the moment, man, they've only got like around 78 or 80 active players.
Oh really?
And this is a game that's full release.
Yeah, that's actually one we were playing the other day, and it was me, a buddy, and one of my guild members. And we had no problem getting games, and then when two of my other guild member friends wanted to play, we would sit there for like 4 or 5 minutes, and eventually they were like, I don't want to wait anymore. Like, let's go play something else.
Yeah. So like were you before they joined you, you were running just solo queues, were you?
Um, I actually have only done a few solo queues, in all honesty. Like, I've been lucky enough that every time I went to play, I usually have a full team, because I've also
Yeah.
heard that if you don't have a full team, it's very hard to actually get games sometimes, because a
Yeah.
lot of people are rocking full teams. I didn't know the community level had dropped so much. Like, but that is something that's rampant in the entire blockchain gaming industry currently.
Yeah.
And, rightfully so. I get it, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame that it happened, man, because like you put in so much money into buying these tanks, and it's not like Gala itself's one of the more accessible platforms as far as a buy-in.
Yeah.
Because you got some games and it's like $20 USD to buy a character or a skin or whatever you need to play the game, and then with Gala it's like minimum maybe $250 USD.
Yeah, that one is actually, I've been resistant, and other people have been a little bit more resistant to when the free to play aspect showed up for at least Spider Tanks. It did open up a lot more potential for people, but clearly they didn't capitalize on that. Like, because I do recall Gala has, it's pricey, I guess, is the way that I would put it, compared to most of the games that I've been playing and focused on have been Engine Network, primarily. But we're not restricted to any of that. Like, I do, like Gods Unchained is another one that I play. Lost Relics, Dungeon Universe has been one we've been playing a lot lately. Trying to think if there's any other ones. And then we play like some non blockchain games like every night, where we'll play Grounded or Golf with Friends.
Yeah.
Palette
Yeah, the games
Cleanser.
that you play, man, they actually look fun.
I
So
mean, there's a lot of good potential in blockchain gaming. Engine was the reason why I was attracted to Engine initially, was because they were the first one that were rocking the multiverse idea and actively doing it. Where when I first joined up, they're not as actively doing this anymore. It's kind of not happening anymore, in my opinion. But when I first showed up, it was like I bought NFTs for one game, and they worked for five, and
mhm.
they held value much longer than other games. Like, if I always thought it was a smart bet, because it's like, if it works for 5 games, we're in an industry right now with blockchain gaming where you never know when something's just going to implode or stop, or whatever reason. It's not like Diablo 4 is never going to be produced. It may take 10 years, but it will eventually come out, type of situation, or a new World of Warcraft thing, or a new Call of Duty. They're coming. So if you had something of an NFT aspect, it would still sustain some value. But so it was, as of those 5 games, I think only 2 of them are now active. But, it still sustained a little bit more of a value because
Yeah.
it worked for
Well,
multi.
I think with like Gala and stuff, like you know, if it was a Vox or something like that, they would market the shit out of it online. And then it's like, you know, Spider Tanks is their first full release game, and it's like no marketing at all.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I was
you know,
surprised, but like, so I was supposed to go to, I've been working a lot of conventions lately,
mhm,
where I've been going, I do like, we'll film and do social media and SEO and make little clips and stuff. And, I've gone to PAX West, TwitchCon. I'm getting ready to go to PAX East next month. And then NFT NYC will be after that.
mhm.
That have been hired from these gaming companies and stuff like that. But you see, like we were supposed to go to Galacon, and it just turned into Galaverse, I think is what it turned into, and then they rescinded their invite to us.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear anything about Galaverse at all, and it was kind of like, I thought you guys had this all set up, like you guys had world championships for spider tanks. And there
Mhm.
seemed to be some decent engagement when me and you first met in that game. And it was like, what
Oh
happened?
yeah, the hype was all there, man. Like back in the like in the pretty much the alphas and the early betas, but then it's just slowly died off. Like, yeah, like, and it's not just like the fact that not many people are playing, man. I think the reason they're not playing is because of the way that they set up the market and everything. Like, as far as your like how you earn silk, like I've got a legendary cannon,
Okay.
and that cost me around $5,000 AUD.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what the conversion is in USD, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming it would be over 3.5 grand or
Oh,
something.
yeah, definitely around there.
And a silk's like, I can't remember the exact price, but when I last looked, it was 80 cents, and you're only earning 8 silk a day for playing 20 games. And it's like, you get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, man.
It's a great motivating return that you get out of that.
Yeah, and I think they've changed it now. So, like, you get victory points, and you pretty much max it out after 10 wins instead of 20 now.
Okay.
But so, like, the difficulty has gone down. But to get your 20 wins, man, that was like 6 hours, like for a normal player, or maybe more.
Yeah.
So now you're still doing 3 hours for fucking $8, and that's if you've spent fucking $5,000 on a legendary setup.
That's not exactly a motivating return rate, in my opinion.
No, not at all, man. Even if it doubled and you were getting $16, like, it's still not very much, really.
Yeah, no,
for three
not
for
at all.
3 hours, you know. So,
have you been playing other things?
Well, I've been playing Web2 stuff, man. So I've been playing that new Hogwarts game.
Oh yeah, I had one of my guild members. We released some videos on it on our channel. Actually, he really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I haven't finished that yet, but I've like I was playing Superior for a while, which is a Gala game as well.
I heard
Superior is pretty fun.
Yeah, I heard that actually wasn't bad. What is that one like?
It's like an FPS, man. It's almost reminds me of like I think I might have heard this on another podcast as well, the Forged in Crypto one, or maybe Faz Radio, but they reckon that it's sort of similar to like zombies in Call of Duty, where it's just like it's like a survival based game.
Oh, we did a video on that game. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
And it's got cartoony graphics, and
just fine.
So that appeals to a lot of people as well, especially the younger generation.
Oh yeah, because, that and like the Borderlands community too, like open the door up for first person shooters to be okay with that style.
Yeah. Well, I love Borderlands, man. That's like one of my favorite game titles. So
same.
But like that game's pretty good. I did play the Legacy, which is like a sort of like an economy game.
I don't know Legacy.
It's an odd sort of game because a lot of people thought it would compete with Townstar.
Oh, okay. Townstar. Yeah.
But yeah, Legacy's I'm pretty sure it's made by the same guy that made the Fable games.
Oh, no crap. I really love those ones. Legacy. Oh, okay. I see what it is. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good one though. You'd recommend that one?
Well, it's only in the alpha, man, so like it wasn't too bad, but it's like very click based. It's clicking for sort of no reason other than the fact just to click.
Okay.
So that sort of shit annoys me a bit. But yeah, like I can see I could see people wanting to play it once it's like, you know, in beta or it's released.
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
the alpha, you know, it was like, it was good for an alpha. But yeah, I hope that they keep improving stuff on it.
Always, right? Like, I always want it. Oof.
But I'm more interested in the games that you play, man, because like out of the games that you play, what's your favorite one at the moment?
At the moment, probably the one where I'm investing the most time in lately has been Dungeon Universe, which is essentially World of Warcraft if it was an alpha back when it first released. Like, it's pretty bare bones still, but you can play with your friends. The NFTs that you find in the game are automatically deposited into your wallet, where a lot of games have portals now where it will be like, it's an NFT, but you can sell it in game and then take the cryptocurrency out. I've noticed to being a larger trend in a lot of games. So I do like when it's a little more pure in the sense that it's going right to my wallet. It's just a strict NFT. And Engine X is a very reliable and good sales and marketing like channel for them, like because it's Engine's like marketplace, and they've got their jump net now. So there's JEng where you're no longer paying gas fees. So I think it's like a, I don't know, 0.000001 of a penny of something like that to do any trade, which is real nice. And being blockchain gaming, being like a smaller community, it's been nice that when our group has switched from one game, we've pulled sections of the community over to be interested in other games as well. And so we'll have a lot of this like springboard activation in the community, which, you know, in turn make it so that items are more valuable. You can sell them more frequently. But I will say Dungeon Universe is, once you get to level 10, you're spending just hours and hours and hours like grinding the same damn thing. Like
so it gets a little bit tedious, son.
It is very tedious right now. There's a like secondary land that you can get to when you're level 20, but it's like an ungodly amount of killing griffins or bears for to get to level 20 eventually, like at that sense. But then Lost Relics has always been one of the anchors, which is essentially Diablo on blockchain, and it looks great. It's visually appealing. It's slow to output, but that's because the team is so small. But that's a standard that you'll see with, you know, a lot of blockchain games. They're very small.
I really like, out of all the ones that I've seen you play, man, that's probably the one that's more appealing to me.
Oh yeah, dude, we can get you in there. Like,
yeah, I've got to get into it, man. What blockchain? What blockchain is that on?
That's Engine. Like, so
Engine.
Ethereum, and then it's a layer 2 of Ethereum, but you do need to access JumpNet to get to it. So it's like a layer 3 on Ethereum technically, but if you do Engine, you can automatically join JumpNet as well because it's their, you know, gas-free subnet.
So can you make an account for Engine on Ledger, or you don't know?
Yeah. You just go over to its primary use is through the phone. So if you're going to use it on the computer, it can be a little less user friendly because it uses a lot of QR codes to speed things up for you. Yeah. So, and you know, so it will be, you would look stuff up on your computer and it'll pop a QR code up, and then you pull up your Engine app and just, you know, throw it over there. It'll just say scan QR code, but works fluidly with, you know, I use Coinbase and Exodus as my my wallets and my exchanges, and you know, transfers immediately. I've never had big problems with them. The only time that there were when they switched from Engine to Engine 2.0. As part of this, there's a new subnet called Affinity coming out, which is going to allow the multiverse to come back. And so it's like, the advantage of it, from what I understand, would be like if you're a game developer, you don't actually have to integrate into the multiverse actively. Your items will just be multiversed if you want them to be. It's like a checkbox. So it'd be like, if I find a shield in that game, I could use it in another game. It's kind of like the everybody wins tactic. which
So,
is
like, as far as getting loot and everything in the game, is it like a lottery system, or is it like how does that work?
so in Dungeon Universe. I will say I've been playing Lost Relics for I don't know a year and a half, maybe more. I feel like I joined in like September 21, maybe so maybe over 2 years now. But I it's they don't it's not kind on finding items for most people in that game. I have found not much. Like I will say, it is actively a very fun game, and the items retain some level of value because there aren't a lot of them in the liquidity pool, essentially. But in Dungeon Universe, they're more prevalent, and because it's a smaller community, like there's like regular NFTs, then T1s, and then T2s, and then there's specialized T2s now.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if you find a specialized T2, it may be worth $400 to $500, and you'll actively be able to sell it. But you can only get that in the new area, so you have to be level 20. So you already have to, kill 20 quadrillion boars, like essentially, like the South Park episode with World of Warcraft. They're trying to, they're like, let's just go kill boars for a month. That's how it feels. But in the first month that I played, I found, I think, 6 NFTs, and I successfully sold 4 of them because I was using 2 of them, and I think I made like, I don't know, $140, $150, like for low
So
tier
what's
ones,
the
which, it's it is what it is, but it's still more appealing than not getting anything. Like
so what's the initial buy-in for that game?
it's free, 100%.
So if when you first create a character or anything like that, it doesn't cost you anything.
Nothing at all. One of my guild mates who's he's level 20 plus, and he just found another like T2 specialized one. He's never put a dime into the game, and he made about $500-600 on it, something around there. And he's like actively trading and stuff, so he's kind of he didn't initially put any money in. He has spent money, but it's only the money that he's made from the game itself. But
so the characters themselves aren't on the blockchain, then they're actually just in the game itself, is that right? And then the items are on the blockchain.
Sort of, yeah. The game is on the blockchain, so ipso facto, like it's kind of how you look at it. Like the characters, I couldn't sell a character. It's just an account. Like it's a centralized system for that with decentralized rewards. But there's a mage, an archer, and a warrior right now. I went with the mage because he can heal, and that was one of the bigger ones because it allows the grinding to be a lot less taxing on your gold in the game, because other players have to keep buying healing potions where you can just keep healing yourself over and over again. But the warrior is by far the easiest. Like they're smash and grab, like they can just clear everything, like compared to I'll have to kill like 5-6 things, and then I have to sit there and heal for a second. It's like they can kill like 10 or 11 things and then have to heal. So the grind is much quicker, but it's also the play style.
Yeah, it looks good, man. Is there any other games in Web3 that you're looking forward to playing that are coming up?
We got approached and tested. What the heck was that first-person shooter game called? We got to play with the developer and one of the lead, the developer and the CEO of theirs, Impulse. And that was, it's got some work to do, but it feels very reminiscent of Counter-Strike. So that was a first-person one that we did. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, I've always been a habitual, like, I don't play 10 games. I play like 2 or 3. And then finally maybe cycle them out a little bit because I like grindy games, or at least games that you have to just keep going with them. But yeah, right now it's literally Lost Relics, Dungeon Universe, what's it called? Gods Unchained, and then occasionally Blancos.
Yeah.
Because Spider Tanks,
I remember playing.
None of my group really plays it.
I remember playing the Blancos with you, the CEO of ARK, and then who was that? I know the other
Justin.
guy, but I don't know his position.
Oh no, you were with you were with
It's Brian, isn't it?
Bryn.
The South African dude.
Yeah.
Bryn. Yeah, I knew I couldn't pronounce his name properly.
So I actually remember that. They were like, "You guys sound alike," and he was like, "No, we don't." It was like, "You guys, I mean, just slightly." But yeah, no, that was a good time, man. What's that?
Anyone would think that saying that a South African sounds like an Australian would be a good thing, but not him.
Right? I didn't think there was any issue with it, but apparently it was a no-go zone for him that day. He's a good guy though.
Yeah, man, he's got he's musicianly talented as well.
Oh yeah, he's real talented with that.
Yeah. I haven't really seen him around much anymore, man. I used to see you guys all the time over Twitter, and now I don't really see pretty much anyone.
Yeah, I don't work for them anymore, but they have there's a very, very talented people that work there, and it seems like there's not a lot of, they don't know where they should go in direction of from working with them, because that was constantly the battle going on where you would get pulled in multiple directions and you don't know who to be fully listening to, because the CFO will contact you about a project. I would work on that project for X amount of time. There would be some meeting and it would be like, we're going in a new direction for the marketing. I'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, well, what about this thing that I was asked specifically to do? And it would be like, don't do that. And if there's an issue, tell them to come talk to me. I'd be like, okay. And then I would never hear about it again. So I just assumed they had communicated, and then, there would be some level of confusion, I guess, or something like that. But I don't know, 6 months down the road, I'd be like, where's that thing I asked you to do? I was like, well, he told me not to do it. And then you kind of get crickets in the group meeting where it's like, you're supposed to go to bat. Like I would have not done your thing and done his thing. And we were every week there was a new idea that we were going to go in a different direction. Like, it's just, there's a lot of brilliant people. Not really, everybody's in each other's lanes is what I think the issue was over there at best, where it's like the CFO shouldn't be dealing with the marketing team at all, ever. The president shouldn't be talking to the marketing team at all or ever. Like, it's nice that we were all close and everything, but it also adds to a little bit of chaos. And when they decided that, they trimmed all the fat from the company, essentially being like, we need to reorganize and redefine. And, unfortunately, we didn't get fired, but we didn't get our contracts renewed type of situation with that. And then, because we met through Market Square Gaming, which was the channel that I had formed for the company like 3 months prior to the exit. And then part of the severance package that I was given was like, you can have full ownership of the channel and all the legal like entities with it that were registered already. And so
that's pretty cool though,
which I really liked, because I was like, I would like to keep streaming and doing something in this. And I had an idea right before I was, before I stopped working there, where I was like, I would want to make a streamer team, because I was like, it'd be nice if you wanted to watch blockchain games. You don't maybe not, you don't know that many of them, or you don't know which ones are good. And it was like, I wanted to find streamers from every different blockchain game that would be like, you could go to Market Square Gaming at the time at 24/7 and be able to see someone streaming a blockchain game live. It may not be the same person, it may not be the same game, but you can learn their schedules or whatever we're going to be. That was like what I was like getting ready to start setting up. And so when they gave it to me, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep going with it. And so changed it to all NFT gaming, and I don't know, put a good 5 digits of money into it, and found a streamer team and built that out, that we provide like NFTs for any of our sponsored streamers that they get to use then, as long as they're, following there's requirements and stuff that go on with it. Like, we have giveaway items. Like, we have, I think, right now in the giveaway pool 1,800 NFTs that we give away an NFT every single time. Everybody's streaming, sometimes, up to 10 NFTs in a single stream, that are, either art-based NFTs, item-based NFTs from different games, different pools. And we've been working with developers and doing like giveaway events with the actual developers. It's been working out decently well. Like, yeah, so we've got a team of 5 or 6 people now that are all working towards, and everyone pools all their resources into one centralized spot, all NFT gaming.
Yeah. So for anyone that's listening, man, if they want to participate in any of that sort of stuff, like, do you have a Discord that they can join? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, let me.
And if you send it to me in Discord when we're done, I'll put it on the
100%.
video as well.
Yeah, we've got a random SEO tag for generic stuff. I can just send you. You can pick and choose whatever you want to do on it. It has like all of our streamers' socials, all of our socials, like Twitter, Discord. Yeah, you know. You know what I'm talking about. The joy of SEO. Like, it's like, yeah.
I fucking hate SEO, man. I reckon it's bullshit.
Dude, it sucks so much, but it's like if you get good at it, like you get money, man. Like there were people that worked for the companies that I've worked for where that's all they did. It was like that's what I was doing towards the end of when I was working for Market Square, and it was just like, is this really the duty? Like you want me to just scour the fucking hashtag points or like God knows what, or the verbiage or the how you categorize it for the information? It's so dumb, but it matters so much. It's ridiculous. It's like the difference between a 500 view video and a 50,000 view video. Did you do SEO?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no, I know I have to. So like I've made templates essentially, depending on what we're doing, and then it will just make me have to. I don't know. I've gotten it down to where if I get a random video submitted from one of my people, it's like I go to, Glitch Through Gaming sent me this. So I have a Glitch Through Gaming template where it's got all of your shit on there. And then all I have to do is be like, what was talked about? And I'll just be like, give me some notes about what's going on because I don't want to watch it. Like, I'm doing the SEO for it. Like, I'll watch it when I watch it. But if you want to post it quickly, just tell me the bullet points of whatever the hell you want included in this thing. And then, tweak it. And then, boom, you're good to go. And then everyone has a templated style of thumbnails.
Yeah.
So it'd be like,
so with in regards to SEO, man, like I wanted to ask you, like I know that you use a lot of third-party material as far as like from movies, stuff like that for your shorts. Like I think I was talking to you a while back and you were saying that it was like 10% get flagged or something like that. Is that correct?
Probably more than that at this point. Since YouTube, before, yes, it would probably be about 10% got flagged, and it would claim that it could be monetized. With the partnership agreement that was coming up with 2023 that Cat instituted, I think on the 15th of January, was that they had given everyone notice that shorts were going to be monetized in an attempt to compete with TikTok because TikTok was paying people out. But as always, YouTube was doing their thing where it's like, a TikTok payout where if you get, I think you need 50,000 views for a penny in TikTok. And on YouTube, it's 1,000 views will get you a penny. So it's significantly better, like YouTube always has been. Twitch also suffers from this, in my opinion, where my streamers stream on Twitch, which I like, or I'm the only one that streams on YouTube, so there's no conflict of poaching because we'll stream at the same time. But now we're able to hit 2 different metrics and pool at the same time for everyone that I will stream with. But the problem with Twitch also is the fact that it's a 50-50 split. And they screwed over their highest potential people right at the early of 2023, if I recall,
I read
because
something about that.
The partnership agreement in YouTube is a 70-30 split. So it's really good in our favor as long as we're producing. Like it's up to we're masters of our own destiny, but we're doing all the work. They're facilitating, which is like a standard contract for a facilitation. Like you're going to take a small percentage, you get the bulk of the work, but you get the bulk of the money. Twitch was giving their top people 70-30 splits. And if I recall, at the beginning of 2023, they renegotiated this whole thing and they forced everybody, even the top tier, to go down to either a 60-40 or a 50-50 even, like everybody else, which was bonanzas to me. Like, you're going to take your top people that are making, like, you're talking about the top 1% of Twitch are the only people that are going to be affected by this thing. And they're the ones that bring you your number, like the largest amount of revenue. And so we were running the numbers one day, and it was like, even for someone who's in the bottom end of that, you're talking about $50,000 to $60,000 a month now disappearing from their doing the same thing that they were doing before. It was like, that's ludicrous. So there was the overhaul with YouTube that came with shorts, and then they were going to start promoting streaming a lot more to try to compete, and they were going to try to poach a bunch of people. And as a partner, I don't know if you're at partnership yet on YouTube.
Nah.
Okay,
nah.
so
I haven't even looked into it, man.
I mean, you have to get, it'll automatically happen. I think you need over 1,000 subscribers, over 4,000 watch hours, and there's 2 other ones that are really, really easy to hit. But the 1,000 subscribers, the 4,000 watch hours is one of the most difficult one for most people. But there is, I don't know if it still works, but when I got monetized, there was still the, I guess you'd call like shortcut, where they were not differentiating between streaming and video views hours. So to get 4,000 video watch hours on shorts or videos you're making yourself on a small channel base is really, really hard, because like, if you spend an hour making like a 10-minute video, let's say, even if you didn't spend a ton of time on it, you don't have any pool of people to watch it, and YouTube's algorithm will not push you at all, because there's no one there. Why would they? So how are you supposed to get these watch hours and subscribers? And so with streaming, you could literally stream and be like, I plan on playing video games for 10 hours. I'm going to set my phone up to just watch me while I stream. I just got 10 hours, because it's going to view it as 10 hours of watch time, regardless of if it's streaming or videos. And so a lot of people don't stream on YouTube, like next to no one does. I was the only one in, I think, about 4 different communities till I found another person who YouTube streamed that was blockchain gaming in the same game space that I was. But it was like 99% of people are on Twitch. And so it's like, it's really hard to get monetized on YouTube because of that metric. It's like, I know one of my buddies set up like 6 bots, and just every time he streamed on YouTube to get monetized, because he was like, I don't want to stream. But he was like, he used that and then set up these bots, and then he got his watch hours up to, he would cheat. He's going to get his shit flagged eventually, because he would like literally just set up a stream with 6 bots and then leave the home to go work for 8 hours and then come home and turn it off. And I'd be like, you had 7 viewers the whole time so you just got 56 hours of watch time today and you did nothing. Like, but it's, so you get flagged 10 times more now with shorts and using that illegal content that I will use, like movies and stuff. But there is definitely a leeway for if you manipulate it enough. Because like, if you watch a bunch of the shorts that we produce, I think we have like 600 shorts now on there. But if you watch them, some of them are clear cut and I don't do much editing. But most of them are, I have taken a 5-minute scene and cut it to 60 seconds with the funniest parts and blended things and chained. Like, I've got 16, 17 layers to a timeline making a short that I haven't done anything with. And a lot of those do not get flagged, and I will make money off of them. But with the new system as well, I would say 1 out of every 40 will get banned, and you can't actually watch it. I don't know, 35 of that will be limited money. It's like a lot of these things will share the profits with you. So I'll use Marvel shit all the time. Marvel will always limited monetize, like flag me, but it's like we just split it. Or they get it entirely, but I don't really care at that point, because I'm not pulling in, like, I think our most successful short was, I think, 56,000 views, maybe 65,000 views at this point, from one, and it was like a 2-day thing. But I'm in it for the right now to build the subscriber base, because if I release shorts, I get 9 out of 10 days. If I release 4 shorts a day, which is usually the standard metric for what I do, I will get at least 9 to 10 people, at least. So not of them are coming back, but I don't care. Like, you know, they occasionally show up on the stream. They'll occasionally like pop in, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. Or they'll join the Discord occasionally and stuff like that. But it's really, you're not going to make any money right now until you're going to pull 50 million views on a short. And even then, you're not going to make anywhere near as much money as you will with a regular video. Like, yeah, like for a comparison, 2,500 views for one of our last shorts made me 3 cents, I think. One of my streamers replays that had no flags for like limited viewing or anything like that had 27 views and made 19 cents. So it's like shorts don't make money. You're like, no one should go into shorts and being like, I'm going to make a shitload of money on that. You make a
just
shitload
direct
of money
traffic to your
on,
channel.
yes, like that's the only metric for it right now. But
yeah, well, like when I was setting up the first short, man, because I couldn't get it to work at first, because I think I was doing 1920 by 1080 and it wasn't coming up as a short, and I had to change it to
1080 by
1080 by 1920. And like I was reading all the shit on it, what they like YouTube tells you itself, and it's like this might take 48 hours to 2 weeks before it's going to get any views on it. So don't be disheartened about uploading a short and it doesn't get views straight away. And I just thought that was unusual, man. It's like I dropped a Donald Trump one when I was talking about the Donald Trump NFTs.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And
They'll put them up with the Donald Trump stakes.
Yeah, and it got dislikes on it because I'm looking at the metrics and it was like, I think 16 likes and it was like 8 dislikes. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to...
I feel like the only reason for that one, though, is because it's Donald Trump. It's like,
yeah,
people, it's like they won't even watch it. They'll see him and they'll think that you're for him because YouTube is pretty right.
Yeah, but it was like 350 views or something like that on that one short, which was, I think, my second one that I made. So that's good for me. But it's like, it just didn't make sense. Like, why does it take 48 hours to 2 weeks before your shorts get any sort of play?
So what I've actually done with some of the stuff is that dependent on how hard you're hitting on a regular basis will be like, I was releasing 4 shorts a day, knowing that they were going to be monetized eventually. For 3 months, I released 4 shorts every single day. Every day. So I was like, the idea was I was going to build this base that was going to watch our shorts. And then when they got monetized, I didn't realize that I was going to make no money at all from them. I thought it was going to be like YouTube, where it's like, if I get 1,000 views on my YouTube video, I get $5. So I figured, it'll be a little bit less. If I get 1,000 views, I'll get $2, let's say. I didn't realize it was going to be like 1,000 views a penny, but I get it.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, what does YouTube really get from it? Like, it's not like a YouTube video where someone's spent time sitting there watching it on their platform. They're going like that on them. So I got it like that. But when I was posting every single day, I would have, if something hit harder one day, the next day would have better traction. And if I didn't have that one, because the idea of releasing 4 a day, making these comedy shorts from pop culture videos and stuff like that, was the idea that one of them will be really good to the general public of that day. And as long as one's really good, the other ones will trickle up, which is usually how it goes. But when you're releasing, like, there was a time when we got up to the 55, 65,000 one. It was like we were releasing bangers like 3 or 4 times a day that just happened to be like really good every time. It was just a good time period of harvesting these things and seeing, because I will sit there and watch movies with my wife, and then she'll sometimes get annoyed. I'll pause it and I'll be like, take my phone out and be like, this time in this movie, and just be like, replay it again. Be like, sorry. And
how much does she hate that, man?
It's like half the time she does it too, where she'll like be like, there's one, like, do it.
Yeah.
But because she's really into movies and stuff. But yeah, like, you will see these weird fluctuations in like return rates that I've noticed, where like, 3 days ago, 3 of the 4 that I released only had 250 to 350 views, which is really bad for the return rate that's normal for me. And then you go and check today, and they've got 2,500 to 3,500 each. And so the algorithm will do this thing where if there's like something that could potentially go viral from what I've like personally noticed, it will start to steamroll these type of things, and it will backburner a ton of crap. And then, you can't force anything to go viral. Things go viral if they go viral, and the algorithm decides to ease back and push the reserve back forward. And that's why I think they're like the 24 to 48 hours thing, because it's like, if there's something better, you're not going to be shown to the average person. But, if the average person has gone through all our bangers, they'll then start to see them. And so the average person will, that's why I would say the 24 to 48 hours is because, like, I religiously will sit there when I'm like cooking food or something and just flip. Short.
I'm gonna test something. I'm gonna make a short out of this video. I'm gonna call it "Why YouTube's Better Than Twitch," and then I'm gonna put all.
You gotta like blur my face.
I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it up, and then I'm gonna put it on there and see how that works with the algorithm.
Oh, I bet they'd actually like that one, man.
Yeah,
I think they would. That's funny.
So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
YouTube's a fickle bitch, like, in all honesty. That's why you can sit there, like, I've listened to, I don't know, tens of hours of Mr. Beast explaining things, tens of hours of, what are the other 2 people? I don't watch them as often. There's other 2 people that aren't, like, fully name branded, but they talk about the algorithms of everything and the AI involved with what's going on and how it works and why it works the way it does. Which I always found interesting, because it's like, if I know how it's doing what it's doing as a baseline for how it was created, I can know maybe where it's going to go and try to do some type of like anticipation in the world. But YouTube's, it's an interesting place. Like, I've, I was forced to really get heavily into learning the intricacies of it from Market Square. And then I've just been interested in that and furthered on with it. And, I've made quite a bit of money from contracts of people needing help or wanting something or hearing about, they heard me talk somewhere and they were like, well, yeah, it's like, okay, let's contact this guy about this thing. And everybody has usually good results, because it's like, I'll usually tell them, I'll be straight up, I haven't worked with some people too, or I'm like, I don't think that the algorithm or your methodology is the issue. I think it's the content itself. Like, you need to do a little bit different things, and that will be that type of deal, because everybody also needs to find their niche. And we picked a horrible one too, though.
Yeah. I was just
we picked one where it's like, there's 10,000 people to secure. It's like NFT gaming.
Well, I think like the biggest account that I've seen is like through blockchain. That's not a podcast. Like actually making like content based around like Web3 gaming is on-chain gaming.
Okay, I know him. Yep.
I think his channel's only got like 125,000 subs, which like I'm making it sound like it's not a good thing here. Like, I've only got 50 subs on mine. I understand that he's done a really good job. But at the end of the day, compared to fucking any other YouTube channel or anything like that, just with like mundane topics, they've got like fucking, like, you could make a podcast about fucking coffee.
Oh yeah.
And it would get millions of fucking subs compared to blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, because we're working in a tiny pool. That's also why I opened up when I went to the shorts, and after like kind of reviewing the year 2022 with our channel's growth and our engagement and how we were actually engaging and dealing with our communities, I pivoted to being like, we have to include like AAA gaming. We just have to at this point. Like, we cannot survive. We can focus on NFT gaming as being our priority and our passions, but it's just not happening to only like, it's like, so if the best of the best of the best for blockchain gaming and blockchain strictly only stuff is 125,000 subs in the whole scheme of things. Not that that's bad, like you said. That's really bad in the scale of everything else. It's like that's a okay channel on AAA gaming, an okay one at best. Like it's not a good channel, like because a good channel's got like 300 to 400,000 subscribers for AAA gaming, and I'm like, it's hyper impressive for what we do. Like that's like, you're the big league. Like that's like, yeah,
exactly,
we're
man.
playing like T-ball and you're playing Major League Baseball right now. Like in our numbers, but it's like it not a large possibility to get to that stance in that tiny community. So I was like, we have to open up to everything. So I started talking, like doing shorts about, the zone. Like there's no blockchain game that has the zone coming in or, like reviving your teammates. Like tell me what game that goes on in too. Like I'd love to know that. It's like, so you had to bring in like the aspects of Call of Duty. And so one of my streamers was like, I'm honestly kind of bored right now with blockchain games. There's nothing for me that I really want to play. I was like, good, go play the other stuff. Like, go. And he did Hogwarts Legacy and was like sending me like video clips of like fighting death on max difficulty end game video, like fighting the troll for the first time and all this stuff. And so I was like, perfect, bring it in because we don't have to have all blockchain because they're gonna. It just allowed for such a stagnation of growth at a certain point because we went from 0 to 1,500 relatively quickly within a year and 2 months, which for a blockchain only thing is, I think, quite fast. And then we stagnated for like an entire year. We got another like 700, maybe 800 people. And it was like, I realized because we would run these events before too. Like when I had first met you, we would run Lost Relics giveaway events with the developers, and we would have 150 concurrent viewers for 7 hours of streaming.
Yeah.
And then you would have the next month that we did it, or in a month and a half, we'd do it again. And then we had 100, and then it was 50. And then it was like when you do a big event, you get 40 to 60 anywhere. And it just levels there depending on how much work you put in the outside to get people to come to it. And it just, the industry was doing boom, boom, boom. And then it dropped and everybody jumped ship naturally. Like, especially, like I'm talking about like crypto in relation at this point to the gaming world, where it's like there was a clear distinction of as crypto as started to reach its peak, I felt as though there were a lot of people reducing their time investing into that were heavily involved before that all of a sudden disappeared. And then FTX happened.
Yeah.
And now we have like a large communities, like 200 people, which is like ridiculous because that was like a bad day, like on a normal day anywhere else before. And
we're even like running a guild, man. Like I think around the FTX time, we ended up fucking losing like 60 follow like members or whatever you want to call it within probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I mean that's like exactly the same type of thing where there was when FTX happened and we started really going into other games around that time. It was just like we had been running the same dungeons with the same crap for a year straight in Lost Relics. So we were all kind of wanting a little bit of a palate cleanser, something to do differently. And we wanted to play together. And we left for Dungeon Universe around that time. Like I was the last one to join of our group, but I had tested the game a long time before. So like I randomly have like a free founders token in that game. I like kept out like, what is this? And everyone's like, what are you talking about? That means like you're an OG. And I was like, yeah, yes, it does. I'm like, I'm totally an OG in this game. Like I didn't even know what the thing was, but I had tested it for Market Square to make a video one time. But when we left, everybody left with FTX. And then a few of the people that stayed, like gaming, went to Dungeon Universe because we could all now play together doing fantasy RPG stuff. Didn't look the same, but like we've been doing the same thing. And there was this like mentality where it was just like ANG left. They need to come back or Lost Relics is going to die. And it's like, Lost Relics is never going to die. And we had actually no real effect on that. It was just the time and the place. It was what was going on in the market and the society. But when crypto starts going back up like it has, the numbers of people will go back up.
Yeah.
It is discerning, though, or disconcerting the amount of fair weather players apparently there are. Because it's like, we're not going to get the system put in Call of Duty if everybody jumps ship when the like waters get rocky. It's like, stay in, keep playing. What changed? Like, are you really in it for the money? Like, I always view these games as being like, I like the game and the NFTs are an extra perk. Like, yeah. I'm not there to play, like, I'm not going to play a crappy game just because it makes good money. I understand that there are a lot of people that are, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I do. Or my group of friends, like, realistically. Like, some a little bit less on that scale than others, but generally speaking, yeah. It's like the NFTs are a bonus.
Yeah.
It's like, I can either spend my money, and like I said, I still do play regular games. You know, like you have to get in on one of our Golf with Friends sessions. Do you ever play that game?
No, I haven't played that one, man. I don't have to like hold an actual golf stick or anything.
No.
Like,
it's just like a mouse, like, and you just click and hold it forward, and it's like a little. You can play it on your phone, like essentially, like. But we'll play that one as like a palate cleanser, where it's like, I'm so tired of grinding boars. Like, I'd be like, all right, Golf with Friends.
Like VR.
Yeah, no, it's a jam. And so one of our clan members really loves it, and he builds our YouTube channel styled courses where we have this like fake fake land that we made up called Angia, because we're ANG and we like fantasy games, and so it's this like corny thing, and it was like, Angia, because all of these like missions that you can do in my chat when I'm streaming, like you can decide to go slay a troll or do something that we've written, all these custom stories that you can go through, and Angia was where it always was. And so he's made now like 2 courses, and the second course is like actually doing very well in that game. Like, I think like 1,000 people had downloaded it the last time that we had checked.
Yeah,
like, that's cool. Like, awesome. Didn't know that we could market the YouTube channel inside the golf game. So like, you could make the you could do a guild.
I have seen some other Web3 games as well. Like, they haven't come out or anything, but one of them, their idea is to have like you can buy billboards. So like, you're in the game, and then you can actually market, like buy a billboard and then market on it whatever you want.
Like the Sandbox.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't really looked in the Sandbox, but this is a different one. But I won't mention them just in case they're not very legitimate, because I haven't really deep dived it yet.
I mean, it's a weird thing, and I feel really bad for anyone that put big money into the Sandbox in that aspect, where it's like, the Sandbox isn't bad. It's got a variety of games and fun stuff that you can do, but I remember at the end of Market Square, they wanted a day one video of the Sandbox, and they were like, make it happen. And after doing all the research, I was like, there's no guarantee. Like, you can buy a plot of land to get into a lottery, and there made 10,000 plots of land, let's say. Only 4,000 people are going to be able to get in access day one. So I was like, we have to own land, and there's no guarantee. And they were like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, let's buy some land. And I was like, well, the cheapest land plot that's available is the worst piece of land in the entire game, definitively. That's the shittiest plot that's there. And it's not like there's like 20 of the shittiest plot. There's one crappiest plot in that game, and it was 10,000 USD to get that thing. And I was like, so I'll buy it with the company card if you really want me to, but I don't think this is a smart decision, like, because there's no even guarantee you're gonna spend $10,000 to be part of a lottery where you have a 40% chance to win. Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't sound that good to me. Like, but this is your money. And they were like, no, let's not do that then. And then, you look, because there were plots that people bought for over $1 million. And then you look now, I have no idea what they're worth, but I'd be willing to bet the $1 million plot is under $40,000 at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't looked either, man. Like, I know that I was sort of interested in it around the hype, but I just couldn't pull the trigger as far as like what the average plot was. Just even for a small one, it was like, maybe 3 or 4 ETH or something like that, and ETH at the time was like $5,000.
I know.
So you're looking at like 20 grand just for a fucking pissy little plot for what?
Which is crazy, because it's like I got the idea of that, but I also, the metaverse is something that I'm half and half with. I don't. So in marketing, there's a thing called click rate, like that is dependent on a make or break system, and it's a vapid system because human beings do this thing where if I have to click an extra like 2 times, like it's just clicking, just like hitting your mouse, I am like 80 less times likely to complete a process. So it's like when you're talking about the metaverse, my issue with the entirety of it, where I don't think it will ever work the way that they want it to work until I can literally have gear up that I don't have to put anything on, and you will warp images into my Oculus, like like I don't have to wear anything to go into the metaverse. I can just wake up and stand in front of something or live my life inside of the metaverse built like that way without having any of this gear, because the click rate. So if I want to go, like, the idea of the whole metaverse where it's like you have a shop, let's say, and you make clothes and you make these t-shirts that are fun, everybody likes them. You decide to buy a plot of land. Let's say you paid $40,000 initially, like, and you now have a storefront in there that people can buy that crap from your website. And all it is a $40,000 portal with a bottleneck for who's actually able to shop for your $40,000 portal, because it's the metaverse. And it's like, I don't like, it's set up to fail because I can just go to your website.
Yeah.
Then there's 2 clicks instead of I have to do 2 clicks to start the game. Then I have to do how many clicks to get to your store. Then I have to do how many clicks to access the clothes, to buy the clothes, to purchase the clothes. Then I'm still going to get fucking warped out to the same style of screen. It might just be a synthetic browser that it's like, is this your address? Amazon's like, confirm. It's like there's 8 extra steps to the process. And it's like, men generally also don't really like doing shopping. And men are generally the people that are doing gaming type of things, and they're the early adopters traditionally of these type of systems. What the hell kind of expectation is that? We're gonna hope that all the men come and want to shop inside synthetic stores. Like, I don't want to go to the mall. I hate the fucking mall. I hate grocery shopping. I hate going to do any of that stuff. And you don't want me to play a video game version of it when I could just go and get it right now too. It just seems really foolish, because literally adding Engine actually suffered from the click thing. Engine had a perfect system with their Engine 1.0 wallet. Then they went to 2.0 and they added 2 clicks to every confirmation. And everyone I ever talked to, and I talked to a lot of people that use Engine, were like, this system sucks. And it was like, yeah, but it's way more in depth. And it's like, yeah, but it takes forever to confirm anything. And it wasn't the time, it was the clicks. It was the fact that I had to click 3 times to say, yes, I want to join the Discord chat with you. And it was like, the click rates don't make any sense for any of this stuff in the meta. So it's like the billboards and stuff, like, I love the idea of it, but you first have to get everyone there for it even to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, and and don't get me started about Zuckerberg's metaverse. Homeboy has dropped like what?
Almost set him fucking broke.
$100 billion he's lost pumping this meta, and he's still doing it. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, man. Well, you must think it's going to be something.
I have an Oculus too. Like, I have a Rift like Oculus 2, the one that doesn't require the computer. It's really fun, but I'm grinding or editing or doing something for 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm not on an Oculus for 8. I'm on there for like 30 minutes. Then I'm like gassed because I'm like playing some like hard level difficulty shooter game that's going on in there. And it's like, all right, well, like if I
Yeah.
wanted to go like run around the block, I'd run around the block. I don't need the metaverse to make me do it.
Yeah. Well, man, we've hit the hour mark now, and it's been good talking to you.
Of course.
Fuck, man, like that conversation went pretty quick.
It did.
I'd love to have you on again another time. I'm sure this would be a good one for anyone that's in Web3 that's trying to build like a channel and everything and try to get an understanding of why SEO matters and all that sort of stuff. But like, in all honesty, man, from the research that I've done and what you've done yourself as well, like we've briefly even touched on it.
Oh, I know.
Compared to how much information there is. Like, I don't get it at all still. And I've like,
Dude, I'd love to do like we could do like a whole bunch of them. We could do like 4 topics, and that's what we're talking about for each time.
Yeah, it'd be crazy, huh? Well, thanks for coming on anyway, man.
Absolutely,
and if you don't mind hanging around, I'll just stop the podcast now.
Perfect.
Cool.